Welcome back to the YouTube home of PeterPanLore and Peter Pan Facts, with me, your Peter Pan hobbyist, enthusiast, and journalist, using my Peter Pan hobbyist, enthusiast, and journalist brain and knowledge to bring you fun facts, lore, and trivia, talk about the world of the Neverland, the story of Peter Pan, answer you guys' questions, and today, talk you through just a little bit about what I've been doing recently. So, it all started in London, on the other side of London, and I went to go and see the Pirates exhibition at a wonderful museum, which is the National Maritime Museum. They had some fantastic stuff, and one of the things they had was a Captain Hook costume. Now, this is a replica. It's not the real thing, sadly. It is a replica of the original stage outfit. I've talked about this before a lot in other videos, where he wore a very dark, sort of navy dark blue coat, blood red sash. He had the white shirt with the frilled rough laces, and all those wonderful, beautiful, sumptuous details like that. I spent rather a long time around this costume, taking a lot of videos, so here it is. Have a look down the back. Isn't it glorious? But there was another reason why I'd yeeted myself across London for the day, and that was to come to this place. It's the V&A East Storehouse, which is part of the Victoria and Albert Museum. It is brand new, it's just been opened to the public, and it is, the clue is in the name, a storehouse where they store all of their different bits of their collections, so you can see things that are not actually on display in the museums. So I got to see lots of swords and lots of different costumes and bits and pieces, but I was actually there because I had an appointment, and my appointment was to see specific things. You can probably tell, based on what is on the camera right now, I was there to see quite a lot of wonderful bits of Peter Pan history. And in just a moment, you will see the thing I was the most excited to see, but let's start with the panpipes. These are Peter's panpipes that were used by Pauline Chase, who was playing Peter Pan between 1906 and 1913. Next up, I saw these tights, which were worn by Zena Dare. She played Peter Pan at the Princess Theatre in Manchester from December of 1906 all the way through the tour until May of 1907. This production was happening at the same time as the Duke of York's theatre production, which had Pauline Chase playing Peter. These tights are incredibly silky to the touch. They're a beautiful sort of browny olive colour. They've almost got different colours woven through them. It's loads of different shades of sort of brown and green. I really enjoyed the stitching. You can see here where it's been rubbed through and there's different holes in it. It was just so nice to see these like historical holes that have been patched up so many years ago. There's also a green band around the waist, and just overall it's a really pretty colour, and they are just so very soft. Next up, we looked at an item I was incredibly excited to see. I mean, I was excited to see all of them, but these ones in particular because, as you guys probably know by now, I really love Peter Pan footwear. It's one of my favourite parts of the costumes. I always look at what they're wearing on their feet, and while I love the little sort of elf-like shoes, big tall boots is my favourite. I absolutely adore the gorgeous shade of brown these boots are. They look so worn. There's lace-up bits where you can lace them up. The bottom looks like those sort of elf-like shoes, and then they've had things added to them over the top. They look rough and ready. They look like they have spent time on the Neverland. They are absolutely glorious. I absolutely love these boots. They are so tall as well. I was standing them up on the table and I just couldn't get them all in frame at the same time. I also found a really sweet bit of writing inside which had Zenadere's name in it, which I just thought was a lovely bit of history there to look at. Next over here you can see the shorts. These are part of Peter's costume worn by Pauline Chase again. They are leather shorts. She wore them at the Duke of York's theatre run between 1906 and 1913. Look at those colours. Remember how when I talk about the original Peter Pan costumes, he wasn't just in green colours like you see him today, he was in more autumnal colours, so often a split tunic, so you had the sort of reddish and the dark, sort of the burnt orange. Well, these shorts, they've got the brown, but look at the reddy orange smudges as well. You can also see the beautiful rivets with the lace-ups. I love those green laces, absolutely glorious. That's me just being a sewing person and a cosplayer looking at all the stitching now. I love the little buttons down the side too, so you get into it by doing them up at the side. They don't have like a fly on the front. Absolutely love these shorts. They are just so pretty. There was also a weird happiness as a sewer and costume maker myself by seeing that these costumes are not all perfect. So they still got to go on the stage and look absolutely beautiful, but they weren't perfect in every detail. And I absolutely love this choppy leaf-like stuff on the bottom as well. Absolutely glorious. Next up we have the item I was the most excited to see. This is the belt worn by Jean Forbes-Robertson, who, if you have been following my content for any length of time, you will probably have heard me talk about her far too much. She is a bit like Kathy Rigby, one of my favourite Peters, both of whom sadly I have never been able to see, and this belt is hugely important, so let me tell you a story. This belt was gifted by Jean Forbes-Robertson to another Peter later down the road, Julia Lockwood, who described that one day after they performed she was in her dressing room and then someone was there to meet her and she turned around and it was Jean Forbes-Robertson. She said she nearly fainted, her jaw dropped, because Jean was one of her heroes. She'd seen her playing Peter Pan. She thought she was amazing, but Jean Forbes-Robertson hardly ever came to watch the shows anymore, but this time she did, and she came backstage, she asked to come backstage, she met Julia Lockwood, she had a little brown parcel in her hand, which she pushed towards Julia, and she said, "You were very good, and I would like you to wear this." She muttered a shy goodbye, and then she was gone. Julia says she opened the parcel, and inside was this belt, which she recognised immediately as the belt that Jean Forbes-Robertson had worn as Peter Pan. And is that not just a beautiful, magical story? Anyway, I love Jean Forbes-Robertson a great deal. I love this belt. It was amazing to see. And now let's move on to the next Peter Pan object that we saw. This is another of Pauline Chase's costume pieces, and this is a Peter Pan jacket. It is stunning. I cannot believe how well this costume has held up. Clearly it shows how well it was made and how beautifully looked after it has been by the V&A. I spent so long with, well, to be honest, this and the belt I just kept coming back to over and over and over again, and this tunic is amazing. I desperately want to remake the replica that I made so long ago now. It has beautiful autumnal rich burnt orange colors, so many buttons and a hidden panel so you don't always see them. It's got those choppy bits on the bottom just like the shorts, and they're all just so Peter. It's so unreal. It's got little loops for the belt to go through. It's got the wonderful lace up sleeves I absolutely adore. Down the back you can see not just the belt loop holes but the hole where the flying harness went in as well. I absolutely love this. I cannot get enough of this. I looked at it over and over again, carefully turning it over. You can see all the different patches of brown where it's been scuffed and used over the years, where Peter has probably climbed up rocks and fought with pirates, where it's been stitched and restitched, where look down the ends of the sleeves and onto the back of the jacket. Here's where the harness will have gone in. Now on the back of the arms, you can see where it will have been attached. It's got all this sort of fray material. That's where it used to be attached to the sort of almost wings, the sort of cobweb-like wings that the old Peter Pan costumes had. Absolutely beautiful. Something else I noticed that I really loved was that the sleeves, which had the laces down them, they didn't have rivets. So all these little holes, they have been stitched around, so they are stitched rather than having metal rivets, which I actually like better because rivets can fall out and they can get really irritating, but the stitching, it just looks so much more Neverlandy. And there again, can you see that sort of pale bit of stitching down the side under the arm? Yes, so that's where different sort of wing-like things will have been attached, as they were in the older Peter costumes. And just over the shoulders, look at all this beautifulness. Now, some of these costumes will have had leaves. This one will have had a sort of leafy cape attached as well, which turned into a sort of hood thing at the back. That sadly wasn't attached to it, so I was only looking at the tunic itself, but nonetheless, still absolutely beautiful. Again, I love this shade of sort of burnt orangey red. Absolutely adore this design. So this was a costume that will have been worn at the Duke of York's Theatre somewhere around 1906 to 1913 by Pauline Chase. The costume will have been designed by Wilhelm and William Nicholson and were made by B.J. Simmons. The materials used is basically just leather, all different types of leather in these wonderful autumnal colours. Again, just slow panning down the sleeve here to show you all the different details. I filmed so much of this costume. And you can see the inside there, and weird to say, I love the grubby inside. It just showed how well loved, how used, how worn it was. A lot of the actors who have played Peter Pan over the years have talked about how some of them would sneak the costume home and wear it around their house, and how sometimes, a bit like Jean Forbes-Robertson, they wouldn't always go to watch other Peters because their version of Peter was very personal to them and they held a deep connection to him. I can absolutely understand this, and this costume definitely shows it. I feel that had I been able to play him in such a manner, I definitely would have done the same thing. And I love how every actor who actually cares when they play this role, when you listen to what they talk about and the interviews that they've done, just the way they talk about him and the interactions and stuff, that definitely shows they have a real personal connection to this role. They care about him. They really are invested and involved. I think particularly you can hear this more recently with people like Kathy Rigby. Every time she talks about this role, it's like she's learning and growing and she just understands him so incredibly well. And I think the same is true with people like Pauline Chase and definitely with Jean Forbes-Robertson as well. Just before we go, I want to show you a very quick peek inside the boot where I managed to finally get a video where I am showing you Zenaire's name. Can you just see it there? Zenadare. I keep saying Zenadare because it seems like it's Zen. It might be Zenadare. And there you go. There it is. Can you see it? It's in the boot. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was very, very sweet. So here are the shorts from the front this time. You can see the different lace-ups down the side. You can see they've been well worn. They've got the sort of orangey, browny, red bits as well. Very natural, very Neverlandy. Here they are next to the boots and just a big pan out of all the wonderful stuff I got to look at. Now, if you guys would like to do what I did and go in and check out any of these items, or indeed any other items, you can do so. Go onto the V&A website, go to their collections page, and when you are looking at the items, select the option to view by appointment. And then you type in whatever you want or just browse, and it will come up with only items that are available to order by appointment. So you can order up to 5 objects for a viewing at a time, and then you can go in and spend some time looking at them, taking pictures, taking video, carefully touching them with gloves on. You get assisted by these wonderful people, and it's just a brilliant experience. So have a go, check out their website, see if there's anything for you. You can order objects, you can go and look at them, study them closely, pick them up and investigate, or indeed just make your way down to the storehouse and have a little cheeky look around. All is fun. Also, as I was leaving, look at the name of the street, and it made me happy. As always, any other thoughts, theories, or questions, chuck them in the comments down below. Any thoughts or questions about the V&A experience, let me know as well. And don't forget to hydrate. All right, I'll see you all very soon. Bye.